Good, I like to sit.
Okay.
You need a chair, Pat.
Okay.
Oh, I got a chair.
Pull up a chair.
Thank you.
Okay,
I
so,
thought we were moving around today.
well, we will be, actually.
Okay.
And this is,
I cleared a lot of space.
ironically, the chair is actually the big start of this movement for this season. And we'll get back to that in just a second. Did you hear today's reading? Did you read the reading? And did you hear our discussion on this end about it? No. Okay, so the last 4 or 5 readings have really been about imagery, our interpretation, and then how we integrate what's really out there with how we're seeing it. And then today is a moment to step back. Take a deep breath. It's okay to be disengaged a little bit, right? But that doesn't mean to just stop everything because you had to, it's like I'm just kind of back up a little bit. Review is really good, which is why we're here today. And then move on to the next few readings. So image, we see everything in images. Interpretation, well, what do we think about when we see that image? And when we think about something, what image comes to mind, right? Those two things are how we are interacting with and working with the world. And our integration into that is the next reading, which was integration as to, well, if this is Tao, and then this is Tao, then this is Tao, then how am I supposed to, so you're working through this growth period. So today is disengagement, gives us an opportunity to step back, review, and or restart in the event that we need to really go, okay, well, this is not working for me. Let's clear the slate and start again to some degree. So last week what we talked about was that the spring is in the legs. There's a big thing about the spring is in the legs. Today's Tong Show and yesterday's Tong Show were all about liver and kidney points. And the majority of the liver and kidney points that they're all talking about are all in the legs. Well, so why? How does that really work out medically? Because that's kind of what we're talking about. That's kind of why I'm here, is because it's the medical Chi Gung. It's not the martial arts Chi Gung. It's the medical Chi Gung. And in the medical Chi Gung, one of the things about working with the points at any time, anywhere on the body, is they increase circulation. And not just blood circulation, but energy circulation. So the Chi is in the blood, and we're increasing the circulation in the area with the blood and the Chi, right? So you don't really see it as, well, I gotta get the blood going because that's the Chi. And it's like, well, yes and no, right? It's getting the Chi is knowing those pressure points and getting the pressure points excited so that when the blood flow increases, which it will, it brings the Chi to the point that you're trying to work on, right? And for me, and because it's spring, one of the big things is this whole rising up of the energy, is suddenly bursting forward. My herbalist, Tong Shao, our meditation friend down in Berkeley, they're all talking about the fact that because it's a wood goat year, a yin wood goat year, spring just happened, right? So instead of us going through this 3 or 4 weeks of ramping up and, starting to itch a little bit and I'm sneezing, am I running? It just happened. You just wake up one morning and you're like, oh man, what the heck happened? It's just the energy of the spring that rose up very, very quickly. And so what we can do to help balance that out for ourselves is actually work the muscles in the legs, and that helps to control it. It kind of like tempering the energy by working with that. And so we're going to talk about what we did last week, and my herbalist really recommends, and that is at least once a day, or once every 40 minutes, stand up out of your chair, take a deep breath, and then sit back down. Because it does so much for the legs, right? It really does so much for the legs. And so what we're going to do is an exercise that I teach to people that we're working with that have knees and hip problems, is a standing exercise. And it's not about the standing, it's about getting to standing, right? It's the key of getting to that. And so I want to be relaxed. I want to be out on the edge of the chair, Knees are just over the legs, right? So they're tucked in just a little. It's not like out here for meditation. They're in just a little bit. And then all I want to do is stick my chest forward to my knees and start to stand up and then stop and sit back down again. And so we're going to take 3 false starts, right? 2, good, and then back down again, and then 1 more, and then sit back down again. And now we're going to reverse it. So now we're going to stand up. And what we want to do is almost sit down. So I'm going to get down to where I'm almost sit down, and then stand back up. And then get down to where I'm almost sit down, and then stand back up. And you see how each time it gets a little bit easier to do, your balance changes in your body, right? You start feeling more assured of where you want to be in order to get to that position. Is that making sense? Okay, so these are really, really good exercises. You only need to do a couple. Like we just did 3, you only need to do 3, 2 or 3 times a day, right? And it really, really improves it. This time of year especially, it's not a, add this to your exercise regimen and do it forever. It's really a matter of the next, 2 weeks. If you just get a chance to remember okay, balance to sit down, almost to sit down, stand back up again, try that again, until it feels smooth. And it's usually just 3 times, right? You do 3 times, and by the 3rd time, the body's like, I got this. You're done. Just relax, sit down, right? Take the load off. That's pretty much the key for this exercise for today. And now we're going to look at the Chi Gung exercises and where the leg strength, where this helps the leg strength and the balance in the body. Okay, go ahead and slide the chairs back. All right. Still have my glasses on. That's okay. Everything's a blur now. It's better. All right. So the standing, we're going to do 3 of the standing Chi Gung, 3 of the 3 gates Chi Gung, and then we're going to pause. And we're going to go and review the first moving and second moving, and then we're going to do some of those. Okay? So the standing Chi Gung, nice and simple. Feel the feet flat against the ground. Grip lightly with the toes. Bend the knees and tuck the butt under just a little to straighten the lower back. Lift up the head and chin to raise up the chest and straighten the middle back. Rest the tip of the tongue and the roof of the mouth just behind the front teeth. Relax the arms at the sides with the palms towards each other. And pull the elbows out and back slightly to open the chest and around the arms. Feel the breath become long and smooth. If you notice any tight spots in the body, try to see if you can just let them relax into position. And we'll take 1 more breath, and that'll be our 3 for the stand. And when you're ready, 3 gates going. Inhale, roll the feet out, arch the back, open the chest and arms. Two. So the next thing to remember in first moving gong, or the first thing to remember in first moving gong, is that the hands and the feet follow each other. So as the feet roll to the heels, the hands want to move to the back. Or if the hands are moving to the back, we want to roll to the heels. So we want to get that connection together as we feel the body. So try moving the body around a little bit like we're doing the first moving gong. And just see where the hands and the feet line up. Just very comfortable. Forward and backwards if you want. Any questions about the movements in the first movement? So the second moving gong is a little bit deeper, and the hands start in the center, but they still kind of follow the feet. So as I come up and out with my hands, I want to come out to my toes and then roll out and arch, and then exhale and bring the hands back and roll back to the heels, come down. So try that a couple of times. Inhale. Roll back. In and come down. In the other direction, if you want to try that right now, it's just to warm up. Any questions about that movement? So everything seems good? Okay. So we're going to do the first moving gong. We're going to do 3 in one direction and 3 in the other direction. And then we'll break and we'll do second moving gong.
Hi. Hi. It's supposed to be your video. Dennis Baldwin coming out in here? No?
Tai Chi class, welcome back.
Okay. So from the standing position, 3 gates gong. 1. 2. 3. 4. From the neutral position, reverse, come forward on the inhale. 1. 2. 3. Just relax for a moment. Okay. So far, so good? How are the legs holding up? Oh, good. All right. 'Cause right about now, the legs start shaking a little bit.
Now that'll be the next one.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
All right, so start down on the inside.
Sorry, I was just double checking to make sure it was open and back. Sorry.
Okay. So take a moment to clear the mind. Let's start by coming up and forward. 1. Reverse. 1. Return to standing position. Good. Okay. So far, so good? All right, so we've energized the legs. We've also energized the core. Now we want to unify it, right? We want to keep the energy from just springing out all over, so we're going to use the belt gong to tie them together, right? Kind of a bundle, not so that we can hack the wheat off of the top, but like a wheat stack in a field, got to hold them together. So this one, the feet are closer together, more like the standing Chi Gung, and we're going to roll from outside to outside, across the middle. We don't want to lean too much in this move, so much as we just want to kind of roll the feet and let the body kind of ride the middle. When we do that, we're going to bring the hands to follow, just like the hands follow the feet in most of the exercises. So far, so good? So when I come out to the front, I'm actually going to my heels and going around my heels and then coming back to my toes, cross the toes, back to the heels, cross the heels, and then back to center. So far, so good? Okay, so we're going to do 3. We're going to do 3 in each direction. So we'll do 3 and then we'll 3 in the other direction. And just pick a side. Inhale across. Two. whichever side you're on, switch your hands to and feet to the other side. And inhale and come across, 1.
We're in the middle of it right now. What?
2.
We'll be done in 10 minutes. Need to get in more. We'll be done in 10 minutes. Need to get in more.
And then relax the arms. Turn to a comfortable standing position. Okay. Any
Just felt great. That was amazing.
any thoughts besides that? I mean, that was good, but
Yeah, oh my
Anybody
gosh, yeah, it just brought everything all together for me. I don't know about everybody else, but that was awesome. Okay.
I appreciate that. 'Cause that's what I strive for. Okay, so any other questions or thoughts about the moves or how it felt or? It's good.
Struggling.
I can
with
hear
it,
the
but
rattle.
It's getting,
Okay,
it's getting better.
good. Okay, so we're gonna take the last minute or two and kind of look at the exercise we were doing just before this. So about 3 weeks ago, we were kind of doing this, right? Rolling the energy and then letting it come up and out to the hand without just throwing it out there, right? It wasn't like we're going to do this kind of a move, but we want it to come from here, and so we want to kind of feel, right? We want to feel it kind of building in the legs with stability and strength, and the rolling is fed from the two working with each other. So you kind of feel that roll from side to side. Right? You might notice that it's a lot more in the waist now than in the legs. When we first started this, it was like you really kind of feel the legs and the body's just kind of figuring it all out. Now it seems to be more here, right? Guess what area this is? Kidney and liver. Guess what we're working on?
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
kind of odd, but that's that thing, right? And so kidney and liver are emotions and cleansing. And so recognizing the emotion in the body and not letting it just fill you up, right? A lot of people talk about being full of happiness or full of joy or whatever. It's like, well, that's nice, but you're close to drowning, you know, and you don't need it. You need to experience, allow it to be there, and let it go and relax, right? Staying in a state of relaxation really is kind of the key, and that is hard in this world. That's why I think we're here, and that's why I keep returning to try and offer this moment of stillness that opens so much, right? Provides so much. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the closing exercise. Chi Gung. Start in the standing position with the hands out in normal standing. Take a minute. Let everything sink down to the bottoms of the feet and the tips of the fingers. Lift the head and the spine up to connect to the universal chi. arms out. Inhale, rise up. Take a breath of the heart and lungs. Exchanging energy. Into the Dantian in your mind. Exchanging energy there. And the bottoms of the feet, the elbow and spring point. Take a breath there. Feel the connection between energy of the feet and energy of the terrestrial chi, earth chi. Feels like wood, feels like roots. When you're ready, inhale, rise up. A breath of the heart and lungs. Again, the bubble spring points at the bottom of the feet. Couple more breaths. Feel a line of energy entering at the top of the head, connecting through the spine, down through the legs and into the ground. Ready? Inhale, rise up. The breath of the heart and lungs. Move through the left. The breath of the Dantian and the lung. Feel warm and centered. Take a breath of the pelvic spring points at the bottoms of the feet. Feel the rooting into the ground and stability. All right. Any last thoughts or questions? Thank you for coming. Enjoy the rest of the day and the week.